there, and welcome to Speak English with Christina, where you'll have fun becoming fluent in American English. How many of you do conf calls with Americans? Like maybe you work with Americans to set up a business in the US, or you have American colleagues or clients? Well, there's a good chance that you'll do conf calls in English with them. Conf calls are great for saving time and money, but they can be horrible for understanding. So today, I'll help you be sure you understand in your conf calls with Americans. Let's go. To understand why American English can be hard to understand, and more importantly, for you to improve your comprehension skills, you can get my free American Accent Survival Kit. With it, you'll be able to instantly recognize 12 very common expressions that Americans say fast. And it can help you in your conf calls too. The link to get it is below this video. Now, what about those times when you don't understand in conf calls? What can you do? In business, we call the program of a meeting an agenda. In a conf call, using an agenda is a huge help for your comprehension. You'll know what subjects will be discussed, at what moment, and mostly by whom. And this allows you to relax your brain during the transitions and save your energy for the spontaneous discussions. I've even created a template of an agenda for you. It's specially designed to make your conf calls in English easier because you and your colleagues can complete it with information about the topics that you'll discuss so that you have the context for each part of the meeting. And the link to get this agenda is in the show notes below. If you know the subject of the discussion, that will help you because you probably already know some information about the subject. And the key here is to try to catch as many words as possible to understand the main message. For example, if you're working on a project called the Atlanta Project, and in a conf call, you only understand Mark, blah, 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 project manager, blah, blah, Atlanta, blah, blah. You got the main parts of the message. You don't really need the other words, which were, Mark will be the project manager of the Atlanta team. Now, it's tempting to want to catch every word of a discussion. But if you do this, you're gonna get tired and it'll be difficult to concentrate for very long. But there are times when understanding the main idea is not enough, or when you don't feel comfortable with just that. And if you don't understand something, you could have problems in the future because it could lead to mistakes. And maybe this has happened to you already. Actually, that reminds me of a story I heard from a friend who's an English teacher. She had a group of French clients who worked with a Scottish supplier. And if you've ever heard the Scottish accent, you know it's pretty hard. Like, even I have difficulties understanding it sometimes. Anyway, the French clients had a conf call with the Scottish supplier, and it was so hard to understand that the Scottish guy suggested coming to visit the site in France. And the French people said, yes, yes, yes. So, a few days later, the Scottish guy arrived at the airport in France, and there was no one there to meet him because the French people didn't understand that he was coming for a visit. I guess they had said yes, yes, yes in the conversation because they thought they understood something else, or they didn't want to admit that they didn't understand. I mean, we all do this sometimes, even me, in a French conversation. But, I mean, talk about an embarrassing situation there. Moral of the story, or the lesson of the story, ask for clarification even if you think you understood. So, here are 3 phrases that you can use and that are better than, can you repeat please? So, if I understood correctly, you're saying, So, if I understood correctly, you're saying, and then reformulate what you understood. Another one, I didn't catch the details of the part about I didn't catch the details of the part about whatever. For example, I didn't catch the details of the part about the budget problem. And finally, can you go over that again, but a little more slowly, please? Can you go over that again, but a little more slowly, please? And if your American colleague speaks slowly for 10 seconds and then starts speaking at normal American speed, just politely remind them, John, you're speaking fast again. Remember, I'm Italian or French or Brazilian or whatever your nationality is. I think every one of my students say it's easier to read English than to understand English. Well, good news. If you have the possibility to record your conf call, you can transcribe it. Now, not you personally, but the site rev.com offers transcriptions for $1 per minute. I use it when I make live videos and I need to create subtitles, and they're quick and accurate. And you don't need to transcribe the entire conf call, but if there's a part where you had a lot of difficulties to understand, then you can extract the audio and submit it to rev.com, and they'll transcribe it in less than 24 hours, and then you can read the discussion of the conf call. You greatly reduce your chances of misunderstanding, which can save you a lot of money in the end. Now, what about you? When you do business with Americans, what's the most difficult thing for you? Share your stories so I can make more videos like this to help you. And if you need help understanding the American accent in conf calls and on the phone, get my American Accent Survival Kit. It's a free comprehension and pronunciation lesson with exercises to test yourself. Just click the image below. And thanks for watching Speak English with Christina, and I'll see you next time.